Sabrina, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for the invitation, Swamini. I'm
Thank
happy
you
to
for
be here.
joining the call. I know we have been talking about this since last year, and I'm so glad that this is finally happening. Okay, so for the new viewers, I would actually tell them to subscribe to this channel first because I'm planning on interviewing different people from different career backgrounds, and it would be just good to see what people are doing out there in different parts of the world and in different careers. So let's just get started. Can you please tell me a little bit about your background?
I'm a designer, call myself a sustainable designer. I work with design thinking for sustainability. So using the design mindset and methodologies for creative problem solving on sustainability issues. My career in design started actually with graphic design. I worked in different fields of graphic design and visual communication. At some point I realized that it's very nice to do this, but also I wanted to more actively contribute with my skills and my knowledge in design to good transformations in society, and more specifically regarding social and environmental issues. I felt like, I don't know, we have a lot of tools and a super good mindset that works with creative problem solving that could be used also to redesign the ways we interact in society, and to bring responses to those problems. So why not? And then I did a career reset within design and specialized in this area of sustainability and design.
Yeah, that's really good. And I know for a fact that you are a recipient of Chevening scholarship. So can you please tell me a little bit more about that? And how did you receive it?
So Chevening is a program of the UK government in partnership with different countries. I don't know which countries exactly are part of the program, but I totally recommend, if you are thinking of doing postgrad abroad and you consider the UK, I totally recommend to see the website. It's chevening.org, if I'm not wrong. So Chevening, it's not only a scholarship that pays for you to do master degree in the UK, but it's also like a community, it's a fellowship. The idea of the program is to build up a community that of professionals that have potential in network making, in leadership, that want to make a connection with the UK, and also that wants to deliver something of impactful and good to society through their works. And usually they fully cover your study expenses in the UK for you to do a master's or a similar degree in universities in the UK, and you start to be part also of this network of professionals, and there are many cool activities and stuff being shared between the community. And I'm part of the group of scholars of 2017 and 2018. And I think for me, the main point that made me feel identified with Chevening, and that I felt that was the main point that made me be awarded with the scholarship, was that I really wanted to deliver something good to my country, and especially to the region where I am from in Brazil, and I am from the Amazon. So that I had this deep connection with this purpose of contribute to transform that in a sustainable way, that reality. And the master's program that I was choosing to do in the UK was really aligned with this purpose, would really provide me knowledge, tools, contact for me to do this type of work in my country when I was back to Brazil. So I think this alignment between purpose and what the program can offer to you, and that you can offer also to the program, to be able to achieve this big goal that you have. I think that's the main point of the program, and of the scholarship. And I think that was really a life-changing experience to me. It really provided me with amazing opportunities and resources to be doing the work I'm doing now and that I want to do in the future as well.
Okay, that's really good. So I've been hearing about design design thinking since last few years, and I think it has become one of the buzzwords, the trending words that everyone talks about. But I think apart from the theoretical definition of it, I want to understand what does it mean practically. So you are a design thinker, so I want to understand what is design thinking from your perspective, and also like why it is so important to incorporate in any business, let's say in 2022.
So design thinking, I think the name tells a lot what it is. It's basically the mindset of designers being accessible, available for everyone. So everyone can use the mindset and the tools that designers use to work with problem solving in their own reality. And it can be like in your work with science or business or in your own life as well. I've used design thinking tools to help me to do like problem solving or to help me to organize my own life. And I think there is really a transformative power in this mindset of design thinking. It really goes beyond just like, let's be creative and think of a solution for this. It really goes through important steps and mindsets that help you to deeply understand problems and find ways to address those problems that are really based on something that makes sense, that is connected to the roots of the problem. So design thinking, the process usually passes by 4 main steps, like a moment in which you go deep into the problem and you use empathy to understand deeply. Then you go through a phase of making sense of what all the exploration you did in the world of that problem, and making sense that in order to make a diagnosis of what is the cause of the problems or what you need to do. And then you go through phases of generating ideas and developing ideas in creative mindset, and then testing it in order to make it real and better, get feedback, and then you are able to bring something that really responds to people's needs and to basically like what their world needs. And I think that is very powerful for businesses, because it not only helps organizations to be more assertive in the solutions they create, because they really understand the problems that they are wanting to respond to, but also it helps you to open your mind to other possibilities, because sometimes we tend to be impulsive and go like to what we think like, oh, this is the response, this is the solution. And design thinking makes you open your mind to the possibilities, but also like being deep rooted to what needs to be addressed. Yeah, I think that's the point. I don't know if I made it too philosophical or too complex.
No, that was good. And now I want to talk about sustainable design. And I know like you work as a consultant in this domain. So what is your day-to-day job as a consultant?
So sustainable design is basically this design thinking approach, usually combined with other knowledges that vary according to the type of project you are working on, and that is used to address sustainability issues. So basically the roots are like design thinking used for sustainability, and then you build up other knowledges in order to be able to respond to sustainability issues. And one of the main points of the sustainable mindset and of sustainable design is that it goes beyond design made to respond to human needs, or what we call human-centered design. The shift is that it becomes a life-centered design. So it's not only to respond human needs, but to respond life needs. So I don't think only on what will impact human beings, but also the animals that are in nature, like the environment around, like it's basically to think of the impact not only on people, but in everything that is around it, like everything that is interconnected. And in my work as a consultant in this field, I basically help organizations or the projects in which I'm in to bring this mindset that is able to see the interconnections of things and also tools for us to be able to map more these interconnections and to build solutions that really generate a positive impact in change that can be sustained over time, that not only gives a solution to a single problem, but that really we make sure, or we try to make sure the most we can, because of course we can't control everything that is going to happen, but we try to make sure that things will generate indeed positive impact for all the people and the stuff involved in that solution. So just to give an example, to be more concrete, let's say that for an organization that works with food production, we help to find a way to make more efficient the way or that fruit will be grown. In a first sight, that could mean like a good solution, because that fruit being produced in a more efficient way would mean like money saving to the company, also a way for us to save space in the way we plant the fruit or things like that. But if we think of the interconnections of the things, let's say that type of production actually can be dangerous over time, because we are planting only one species of plant, and then if animal or a fungus that can come in that region and maybe attack that type of plant, it will attack that whole area, and then you destroy the whole production. Then I start to consider other possibilities. Oh, maybe then it's better if we don't plant only this type of plant, even if it gives good money and big production in this sense, but actually over time that can be not good, like for the business, but also for the environment, because it makes it less diverse, so more vulnerable. So then I start to think, maybe it's better if we plant different types of fruits. So which ones are the best ones that could be combined here, that could bring more profit to this business? But also we need to think of the community that is around, because these people also get money from this. So maybe we could find a way to generate a new income for these families that live around here. And then you start to make those decisions based on the whole system that is around, not only like one solution, but a combination that will be more profitable for everyone, for the business, for the people around, for the environment.
Yeah, I just loved how well you explained that. It was almost like a case study for me. Really interesting. And I also know that you have been doing like similar kind of work at Impact Hub Manaus in Brazil. So organizations like Impact Hub help social entrepreneurs. So I want to learn more about how do they do that, and also are there more organizations who do similar kind of work?
So Impact Hub is a network of hubs that are focused on entrepreneurship and innovation, with the focus on social impact. So social entrepreneurship and social innovation. They do that usually through three sets of services and activities. One is like co-working spaces, because the idea is that if you promote spaces in which you can gather people that have similar interests and that share the same purpose or the same goals, you facilitate collaboration, the trust building in the ecosystem. Also, you help to build communities. So that's one of the ideas. So they have the co-working spaces, usually focused on bringing together this type of people that work in the field, like social entrepreneurs and social innovators. And they try to build the places usually in a very creative and inspiring way, so that can help building this environment of collaboration and inspiration. Then they have this area of projects in which, usually in collaboration with the members of the community, they deliver projects of social innovation and social impact. And also they have this idea of community building, basically bringing bringing up together these different businesses, organizations, and people to try to make them use of the possibilities of connection that they have between them to deliver more impact indeed to society and to build up a new generation of businesses that are indeed putting people and the planet at the first place, like instead of profit. And I know that there are other organizations that do similar works. I won't say like the same work as Impact Hub, but I think Ashoka is a good organization for social entrepreneurs to get to know as well, or people that want to work in this field, because they usually have, for what I heard, a quite deep selection process for businesses to be part of the Ashoka network. I think Endeavor also has a good community of entrepreneurs linked to them. And I think a very nice thing is also to try and look for the communities that are born within the countries or the regions where they are, because sometimes they are able also to go deeper into some challenges that those regions or those countries have, so I think it's nice also to look for this type of connection. I know that in Brazil there are many, like Artemisia, Social Good Brazil, and there is a community that is really cool also to know. Who is part of it is usually businesses that are a bit more structured, but I think it's nice to get to know is the B corporations. I think it's also very interesting for people of the field to get to know them. Yeah, I don't know in India what are their organizations, but those ones are the ones that come in my mind.
Okay. How long have you been in this sustainability industry?
Well, more professionally, I've been since I did the master's. So 2018, I started working on the field. Right now, I'm full-time working as a sustainable design consultant, sustainability consultant. When I think back, I already worked as a designer in the organizations I supported before, because I tried to bring a more sustainable mindset or a transformative mindset to the projects I used to do. But I got what was the mindset, and I started really working consciously on it, and I think more assertively also on this was when I did the master's indeed.
So do you agree that a university degree is really helpful? Has it been in your career that it has been very useful to get you where you are right now? Because what happens is, like, education is so expensive, university education especially in some parts of the world, that I'm not sure like whether it should be a constraint that if you don't have a university degree, then you can't enter this particular field, or you can't get to a particular level after a certain point of time if you don't have, like, let's say, like a master's degree. So how do you value university education when it comes to having a career in sustainability?
I think that's a very tricky question. I will say about my experience, okay? I think to me it was very important to have the university degree, because in my case I didn't know from where to start. I felt that I needed a basis for me to work on, and I think my degree helped me a lot to kind of build this basis for my work. And there I realized that it's not something that I just learn from what someone tells me to do, but it's a process of building your basis, your understanding of how to work with that. And I think what was very good also was that there I was able to discuss with a group of people that was trying to do similar learning paths as me. So we could share views and we could discuss and counterpoint. And I think that was good. And that being facilitated from people that are experts on the field, like the professors and guests that would come to give lectures or workshops or things like that. I think that was very good, like was an opportunity to start to build a mindset and to increase the ideas, because the discussions would level up a bit, like the understanding of the subjects to me. But I think like that's not the main thing, for you to learn and to work on this field. I think it has a lot to do also with the depth of exploration that you do on that field. I think like there can be people that go through a grad education and like don't really go deep in that, or don't really get the point, and then like later they can't use much sometimes of that. And there are people that study by themselves and interact a lot with people on the field, and that are able to get the mindset and to get the basis to do their work. So I think like for me, for my profile, it was very important to go through master's education for that. But I can totally get that for some people that may not be necessary or may not be the main thing.
Yeah, university I think does help with networking. For example, like even we met, so it's like, we are from different countries, we are from different backgrounds, and then it's just nice to know different people, and then eventually at one point they'll help you some way or the other in your own career. So yeah, in that way I think university education does make sense. In Europe I think it's still fine because the fees are comparatively lower, but when it goes to like countries like the US and all, hopefully it should make sense overall that you're not spending a lot many years of your life just paying off student debt. So yeah.
I think that's a problem actually of the education system, not of a postgraduate education, but like how the political systems build our access to education. But I think like the main point is if students or professionals want a lot to work on that field and they can't get access to a grad education, like a formal education in that sense, I think options are, for example, short-term courses, like more accessible courses. Thankfully, nowadays there are resources almost free to help you to get basis of things, and also be attentive to who are the people that are really working to develop those fields. So like who are the big names on research on those fields, or what are the references that people that work in the field use, because I think like there is a value for that, like for people that are really spending their lives doing research on that. I think that gives us a safety that we are trusting good resources and are not being led to a direction that is actually not very good, that can be actually harmful. And then I think we make the best of what we have access. I think
that makes sense. Like make the best use of the available resources that you have. So I have a final question for you. What advice do you have for students who want to pursue a career in sustainability or design thinking?
First of all, trying to get exposed to those subjects, to those topics. There are many resources that are becoming more and more available in those fields that can help you to get an idea of what is the mindset of those fields, what are the tools that you can start using already to help you to get familiar with those practices. And if you have the possibility to interact with people in that field, like look for communities of people in those fields or events that you can not only build a network but exchange ideas with people. So that helps you to understand more how that field works and where you can see yourself in there, to get an idea of I think now I understand that it works kind of like this, and I think like my profile maybe fits more with this kind of thing, or this attracts me more. So I'd say get exposed indeed.
I actually have one last question. Because this channel is on careers, so if you had not chosen this career, let's say in sustainability, what other career option do you think you would have been? Have you been like an astronaut or something else?
When I chose design, I got very undecisive between design and psychology, because I like a lot to understand people. And I find that a very interesting field, and a field that in which you can also help people in some way. But nowadays, I think maybe I could also go to arts, or I like a lot making brownies and like sweet stuff. So it could also
So the possibilities are endless. But I do think
yeah.
you would have made a really good career in psychology because you're very compassionate and very empathetic. So I think that would have been really interesting.
Yeah, I think like with design, we develop more ability to empathize with people, because the point of going deep into the problem in design thinking is doing that with empathy, you know, it's like understanding people that are there. So we do use some techniques of psychology to do that.
Yeah.
So I think like I had already kind of a little call for that, and then design kind of helped me to go deeper in that.
Yeah. It does help you, like with design thinking. I think it helps you understand businesses better. It helps you understand people better. It helps you understand processes better. I think it's a great career, and especially with everything that's going on with climate change and all, I think there will be a lot of job opportunities in the future when it comes to sustainability and design thinking.
Yeah, I really, really believe that this mindset will be essential for businesses to survive in the next years, because we are in a different world than we were decades ago. Like, it's a much more complex world, much more interconnected. We are facing really big challenges to survive as humanity, in this planet. So I think there is no way to do business as we did decades ago. Like, it won't survive. I think this type of mindset will be more and more asked and needed for professionals from different fields, like not only designers. I think like people that work in business or that lead organizations, they will really need to have like this new basis for them to take decisions and to innovate.
That's really good and insightful. And I'm so glad that we had this conversation today. Thank you so much for coming on call. I'm sure there are a lot of opportunities, and I hope that, students will be exploring those opportunities in the future.
Thank you so much as well, Swamini. I'm available also to share more of what I have of experience in those fields. And I totally recommend people to get to know more about design thinking and sustainable design. Is really like, they are fields that can really make a shift in your mind.
Yeah, I'll add your LinkedIn profile link in the description below so that the interested students can, get in touch with you.
Okay. Yes, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.